Okay, guys, we are live, and yes, we are in a different area, of course, because I'm not in my dorm room. I'm outside in my living room area, in my beautiful townhouse in SUNY Oswego. And Anthony's not going to be with us tonight. We are doing a live, as in an interview of in person. And it's going to be hard for Anthony because he's virtual, still out on the island. So I've got this guy right here who is an electronica producer named Trevor Strickland. I got your name right. You should thank me for that, right?
Yes, I should.
Yeah. All right. So glad to have you on, Trevor. So let's talk a little bit about your musical journey,
Okay.
about how it started, how you got into music. I didn't know I had to.
So yeah,
elaborate
no.
on that.
Just put me on the spot all of a sudden.
Sorry.
It's like so I've always kind of had a passing interest in music and
Okay.
just in general, like being able to create music. I wasn't really early on in my childhood. I wasn't really into it that much, just because I wasn't really into music that much.
Yeah.
The kinds of music that my parents had put on just be stuff that I couldn't really get anything out of, couldn't really get any emotional release out of. So
Right.
I just wasn't.
Of
I
course.
just had no attachment to it, with a few exceptions, but for the most part.
Yeah, of course. And so explain the type of music that you make exactly.
So I make mostly electronic music stuff.
Okay.
So it started out because when I first discovered dance music in like 2013, I think, that was the first kind of music that I was really into. So immediately I kind of wanted to start making music, but it took me about 2 years afterward in order for me to actually make the leap.
Right.
And then a year after that, I got FL Studio, and that's what I've been using ever since.
Interesting.
So it started out very dance oriented, like it'd be very like something that would play in a club. But over time, I've kind of moved towards a more ambient, experimental kind of thing. There's a few exceptions, and most of the stuff that I actually finish, ironically, still end up being more dance oriented stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. And right now, I'm in kind of like a weird spot. So,
what's your inspiration?
Yeah.
Per se, like how you get your music to work.
Actually, it's a weird question because for me, it's a weird question because it's different for every project. Usually, there's certain projects where I'll just have I'll come up with like a chord progression or a specific structure that I'll just have like this special attachment to, and be like, if I can't finish this for anything else, I got to finish it just to hear that thing in like a finished song.
Of course.
Whereas with others, it's more like, this is new, this is unique for what I'm doing. So I have a special interest in it.
Yeah, of course. And so like, what would you say now, like, because you consider yourself a electronica producer, right?
Yeah.
And as that type of producing music, so it's like, would you say you're on the level? Because I know we've talked before about like disco music. Are you like, do you kind of like produce disco music? Would you say, or?
So disco is kind of like a precursor genre, in my opinion. It's like what came before, and like house music and the kind of stuff you'd be hearing in clubs these days. So I would say to that effect, no, because I think that in order to produce disco music, you have to be working with like stuff that was available at the time disco music was popular. So, or it was the thing.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Now, we talked before because, as you know, I've mentioned it before. I've had even people on who are part of this organization at Oswego called Digital Music Association. Back last week, we had a program where I actually hosted a panel, and Trevor was on that panel. The same with Akil, who's a soar, who you knew, who was also in my one of my other videos. We talked about how it's like when you're making music and all that stuff, and how of what you want to improve in it, and all that stuff. And like, what's like the things do you want to improve when making music?
A lot. The biggest issue I'm having with music production is getting the song structure to a point where it's like it feels like a proper, I guess, journey.
Yeah.
Because the issue I've been having is all of my finished songs have really, what's the term, blocky structures where it's 16 bars of an intro followed by 16 bars of build up followed by 16 bars of the chorus or the drop or whatever you want to call it, so to speak. So I feel like that's the biggest thing I got to improve on. The only thing that I would say that I don't need to improve on, to be honest with you, is just my sound design, because working with synths and stuff has always been like my favorite part of the process. And every time I always surprise myself with the new stuff I'm able to come up with.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
No, definitely. And now, because the thing that I was interested about asking, I know I kind of asked you this before, but let's explain to our viewers too, of like, now you don't have any vocals in your tracks and all that stuff. Like you don't produce any synth.
I mean, I've experimented with doing some vocal work sometime, but it's usually just experiments.
Interesting.
And it's not anything that I end up going with.
And like, you said like, I think in the past too, that like you do write lyrics as like a structure to like what you want.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't think I've ever had a song that I finished. I mean, I only finish like 5% of the projects that I start. So, but yeah, sometimes if I'm struggling to come up with like an idea or something, I'll usually like write out like a poem or like some fake lyrics and see if I can use that as a basis for something. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Of course. And now, would you say that, like, if you would want somebody to sing in your songs, like, what would you be looking for? What's the type of vocals? Like, do you want like a woman with an R&B voice, a guy with like a soulful blues voice?
So I've listened to a lot of different types of vocals, and while I do have like favorite vocalists, they're all pretty different.
Can you name who? I'm just curious.
Who's the guy that featured in the Encryption? His first name is Kenny. I can't remember. Color Drive is a good vocalist. So is Kamana Vago.
Okay.
Or that's kind of like I think that's a duo maybe. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, that's all right.
One vocalist, one producer. I don't know.
I never heard.
Yeah, these are all like. Okay, so I think the original guy's name is Kenny Ray.
Okay.
But yeah, again, a lot of these vocalists are kind of they're really small because they featured in like some songs that are like below 10,000 views on Spotify. So yeah. But Kenny Ray is I think it's Kenny Ray. He's just a very good male vocalist. He's got a very the voice sounds like it would belong to an average person, but it's also like a very good singing voice. And Kamana Vago is very like Michael Jackson-esque.
Oh, interesting.
And
I definitely gotta check that out. But what was I gonna say?
What was the other one?
Yeah.
I listed one more, right? Sorry, with this Color Drive.
Yeah, Color Drive. Yeah.
Color Drive, very soulful, very very poppy kind of thing. It's sort of like Kenny Ray, but more energetic, I guess.
Okay, all right, interesting. Now, would you say, for instance, now like when you like create a song or something like that, like what's the thing that's in your mind? Like what's the kind of creative process? Is there like a storyboard of what you are thinking of what you want with the idea? And then this is like a two-part question. And then once you get that idea, how do you structure it like music-wise? Like how do you know what is the right note, or like how do you know
So typically when I'm starting a track, because I tend to do things very linearly, so typically when I'm starting a track, I will have a very vague idea of what I want, which is usually why most of the tracks that I start don't end up getting finished. I'll have a vague idea, I'll write like an 8-bar loop and I'll be done with it. But for the tracks that I do finish, or that I usually do finish, I'll have an actual idea of what I want it to sound like. And sometimes, like, I listen a certain type or a certain genre of music, and I'd be like, I want to make that,
Yeah.
And other times, I'd have this idea that just stands out to me, and occasionally I've had like narratives that I'm like that I want to tell, and sometimes I would try to write them out, and I'd end up being disappointed in myself.
Right.
And other times I'd surprise myself because I'd end up hitting it spot on. But over the years, I've gradually gotten better at that, I think.
Now, are there some songs that like you do not like that you've done, or do you like everything you've done?
My early stuff is I listen to it again, and it's like, wow, production is awful. I mess up this.
So just
this,
out of
and
curiosity,
this.
how long have you been doing this now?
6 years.
6 years, okay.
But I listen to some of my older stuff, and I'll just have that kind of, how did I screw this up kind of reaction. But I'll always, or not always, but sometimes I'll find certain things to appreciate in those other tracks, and just like what my mindset was at the time, what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Do you think that, like, for instance, like, you have enough material from even like when you first started to make like an album or like like some kind of compilation of your stuff?
I've done. Okay, so let me think. Yeah, so I have like well over 200 project files, but most of them are just like mostly unfinished stuff. I did have an album that I was working on. I started it in 2018, and then in like October or November of 2020, I just scrapped it because it was just not this. The sound was just constantly changing, and I just wasn't able to get anything coherent out of it. So I figured it was better to start fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's my answer.
Okay. All right.
I think the answer is yes.
I do like it. I think that's a good answer. And now, for instance, like this is just okay. This is a weird question. This is just something I think of. Like when I think of like soundtrack music, I think of like a little bit of imagery, as in maybe like a nice green mountain or like a beautiful valley. Like when you make music, like do you see imagery of like where specific like places are, like when you're writing it, like let's say like are you writing like when you have a song or like when you have the music come out, does it remind you of let's say like an iceberg? That's just a hypothetical.
So first of all, I might have to try that, like try writing a song based on a picture, but or an image or like something mental, like a mental image or something like that. But I think a few times it's happened. I definitely do get like certain imagery, even when like looking at other images or reading stuff. And the same goes for music. It's just music tends to be a lot more abstract. And my leg was shaking uncontrollably just now.
That's all right, dude.
But yeah, I do. The answer is yes. I do get. I do have certain imagery. It's very abstract. I wouldn't say I get like a landscape or a character or something, but I do get images.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I get like visuals from what I'm hearing, just how my brain works.
Interesting. All right, cool. All right, and we got one like already. Thank you to that person. All right, thank you. So another thing I guess is what's the right time I think for is why don't we hear a little bit of your music if you're okay with that?
All right.
This is the first time we've done that, people. That a guest is going to actually show their music. Yay!
It's going to be crazy. All right.
See, I have not changed my structure of when I started YouTube 6 years ago. I was just showing Trevor my first video like about 5 years ago that I did. And in it, I'm like, this is my first official video. Yay! I love that peach. He has a peach on his computer. It's a beautiful peach.
I don't think it's a peach. I think it's a pepper.
Oh, don't. Why'd you have to say that? I love peaches, dude.
Well, it's weird because this is Fruity Loops Studio and they don't even have a fruit.
Damn.
I think it's a pepper.
Damn.
Anyways,
Pepper's not a fruit. No, just kidding. I know that.
Yeah, that's what I just said. But
Wow, salty. Okay. Here we
okay.
go. So
So, which one should I start with? That's
whatever you love the most. Honestly.
How about I do this one? This one's
All
kind
right.
of
Tear
weird.
it out.
This isn't the one I love the most, but it's definitely an interesting
Should
one.
we go to your computer? Like if we go into the
If you want.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
So, scuffed setup. Let me just.
Cool.
Yeah. So, FL Studio. Oh, I gotta. It's probably gonna be loud. Hang on.
All right.
Or it just won't play. Oh, is it even? It's not even
I have an
paired.
issue with the Bluetooth.
Bluetooth. Yep. We all love Bluetooth, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Little tutorial for you guys. This is great. Not only are you getting like an interview, but you're also getting a tutorial.
Yeah, the tutorials are beautiful. See, and this is the first time like the camera has really shifted too.
Awesome.
I was just saying.
I told you that was going to be loud.
Okay, so lower it.
Yeah.
We don't need my roommates coming into the video. That's not going to work out well.
Yeah. If anyone can hear this, my apologies.
Anyone want to comment in the YouTube chat right now? You know, the one person watching.
About how I just destroyed their eardrums.
This person's no longer going to watch us because I called them out. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't even know who you are.
I just halved it. I just lowered it.
You can comment if you want. Oh, okay,
and
cool.
suddenly it's like way wider.
Oh, I think it's HR. Oh, wait, hey, what's going on, man?
Oh, nice. How's it going?
You ready? You ready? Yeah, I know. I just said said hi, HR. How you doing?
I gotta turn it back.
What? Turn it back?
No, I said I gotta turn my.
Okay.
It's awesome. All right, so I'm gonna move the speaker right next to the laptop so you guys can hear it better. I don't know where your microphone is. I'm assuming it's right next to your webcam.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's gonna be fine. I didn't put in my actual microphone in. It's okay. We're just doing the web stuff.
So
HR says hi.
Here is mess1.flp. I'm actually gonna pull up. I wanna because FL Studio has this cool feature where you can actually see when exactly you started this project. So I started this one on December 28th, 2020. So
all right.
A little while ago now.
During the dark ages of COVID.
I would say it was more like August, but. Yeah, a little hard.
This is my dance expression face. I remember my friend used to do this stuff on his face when he did that dance one with it.
So that's a 16 bar loop.
16 bar loop.
I think it's 16 bars.
Do you play anything
or is it
like
measures?
Do you have anything like to show our audience like a middle 8 or something like that or no?
A what?
Like a middle 8 at all? Do you use that at all or no?
A middle what?
A middle 8. It's more used in like rock and roll and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
I think you might be referring to something that I'm aware of.
I think it is used more in rock and roll.
There's another section of the. There's another section that's a lot more mellow that would have been used somewhere in this track. And chances are I'm not going to finish it, but.
It's more like in the middle area. It seems like
you mean like a midsection?
Yeah, midsection.
Yeah. Okay.
The song is having a midsection.
That is a reference I don't understand.
Actually, I'm not even referencing. I don't even know what I was making. I don't even.
Yeah. So
I couldn't even figure out what joke I was making.
Basically, that track was started in December of last year, late December, around New Year's Eve, and I just wanted to make something like that was just plain fun. You know, it was just fun to listen to, and I think I accomplished that. I don't really feel like I am very motivated to finish it, but yeah, obviously that's one of the more dance-oriented tracks that I was alluding to earlier.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do all of the mess ones since there's three of them. So here's the second one. This one was started on, I think it was shortly afterward. I go to project info.
Let's just look at his beautiful feet.
April 3rd.
Yeah.
You want me to change the? I can change the color.
No, yeah, change the color.
There, it's red now. It's awesome, isn't it? It's crazy.
I know.
Love technology.
It is crazy. Technology.
Anyways,
awesome.
April 3rd, 2021. This is a very simple track, just a beat and a bass mostly, but I think it's still pretty fun to listen to.
Nice.
After a little while, I get this. That was weird.
What?
Just cut out for a moment.
Oh, it did?
The speaker did, yeah.
See, and this is the control level, people.
You get the idea. Very simple track. It's just it was just a little sound design experiment. So that was mess2.flp. This is meth.
You're doing meth, Trevor? That's not good for you.
It's crazy.
Meth is bad for you, man.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Wow. I did not know
this
that.
This is a PSA for you people. Meth is terrible. Oh, children can't watch
this was started on mess3.flp was started on the same day. So also April 3rd. This one actually lives up to the name. All right. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my God! What HR said, you 2-in-1 videos like comedy and intellectual gold mine. Well, thank you for being so modest, HR.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Thank you. Your contribution is helpful to us.
What he said. All right, so yeah, that one definitely lives up to its name, in my opinion. But I think that I think that it's a very interesting sound that one has. Obviously, it's quite messy, and I'm not going to finish it. But this project has definitely had an influence on some of my other tracks. So if I go,
we got another person watching in the house tonight. Sorry.
I see what you're doing. You're calling them out so that if they leave, you'll feel extra sad, right? Yeah.
Oh, there's Anthony. Oh, it's my buddy Anthony, the guy who's usually my co-host.
No.
I told him to moderate tonight. You better moderate for me, Anthony.
I have a bunch of recent stuff, but that's awesome. I'm just kidding. It's not awesome.
It's not
awesome.
That was
terrible.
It's terrible. It's tragic.
I don't know why I said that's awesome. That really isn't awesome. I want to show one of my older ones.
It's just sad. It's like sad when like my
issue is a lot of my older ones use samples I don't have access to anymore. So
what I just said? I don't know.
I probably can't. All right, so
I'm busy. I'm booked. Okay, yeah. Sorry, Anthony. Forgot that you have a huge busy life, and I thought I was the center of your life. I'm sorry. I wish I would. It's okay. I wish you
were you going to say you wish you were the center of his life?
No, I said I wish you told me. I didn't want to say I wish he was because that would be kind of creepy.
I don't believe I've showed this project to anybody before. This is pretty recent. This is I think this is June. This is from June of this year. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna give you guys an exact date because I know. I know you'll be very disappointed.
See, we give we give good information.
Yeah. May 20th. There you go.
We get descriptive information.
This was
people.
just after the end of the last semester. So
Yeah.
Again, another 16-bar loop. Next time, the next one I show you is going to be a little more complete than this. But,
Anthony, not we broke up. I broke up with you. You're no longer in these videos. I fired you.
Maybe not, now that I think about it. But yeah, here's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, let's get that here. It's a found home.
Were you singing just now?
No, that was Elliot. That was E.T. Elliot. Sorry, it's the best. It's the best time. It's not like that type of time.
Yeah. All right. I hate the trackpad on this.
All right, let's.
I absolutely hate the trackpad on this laptop. By the way, just so you all know, it says I clicked there and I didn't.
Yeah. So
here's a fun one. I posted this to my Instagram a little while ago, and not even a little while ago. It was like a little over a week ago. And since then, I've added a little more to it, and I think this one actually might get finished. So there are 2 sections to this track that I'm working with, and the big challenge is getting from the first section to the second section, because I know the first section is going to be mainly the intro, and the second section is going to be probably the big climax. So yeah, here's what it sounds like. And one more thing, I actually happen to know exactly when this project was started. August 22nd, so just over a month ago.
he's very good with dates.
I actually started naming my project files after the dates just because I was tired of having to sort through all of them and figure out which one's which.
Tell me, Trevor, what were you doing March 22nd?
What year?
2017.
I can tell you what I wasn't doing.
What? Oh God, Jesus! I'm sorry I asked.
Yeah.
I'm gonna regret dancing like this, like in the next day or two. So
I
this
wrote
video
that
might
melody
be-
yesterday, by the way.
Wow. You've got a Beethoven.
I know.
Go over Beethoven. Dig these rhythm and blues.
Dig these rhythm and blues.
It's a song. Check there.
Pretty sure I could say anything and probably this one. Just saying. That was section 1. Section 2 is coming in 3, 2,
interlude, man.
1.
Listen to that interlude. Listen to that beautiful, beautiful section.
I also don't know what the hell you're doing.
Like a robot. It's a robotic sound. Mr. Robot.
It's very repetitive, so.
All your music is repetitive. Honestly, you gotta get to it.
It is repetitive by
even
nature.
if it is repetitive, it's not a bad thing. Like having a repetitive beat is what it's all about. But that's the thing that might be cool when you add a vocalist to what you do. You know? Having something like even like the before, you know, the vocalist and the great big Scott, which wasn't in the band. Like that vocalist. chilling like a villain. As my guest Be Good once said, chilling like a villain.
I think my dad has said that at one point. This was started September 23rd, 2 days ago.
We have a concert going on here, guys. You guys are missing this. Come on, come to the concert. Come to the Genius concert online. If you still can't go out anywhere, that's okay. We provide new entertainment at the moment.
I gotta redo that. That little fill is just kind of out of place. One thing I really like messing around with is choir synths.
Interesting. How does that go?
It's literally just a synthesizer, and I just like I can pull it up right now.
Curious how it sounds.
Apparently, I can't. There it is. So yeah, if I can just hone in on the. That's what the pattern sounds like. So yeah, and I made all these chords myself and
Interesting.
stuff.
All right, let's see this.
So yeah, this is the piano roll. This is where the you write melodies and chord progressions, and once again, the mouse thinks that I'm using a trackpad, which is the best. So my apologies there. But yeah, you can just place notes down. You can drag them out to be a certain length. You can get rid of them, like I'm gonna have to, because those are all off key.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it's a very simplistic process, but it took me a while to get good at it. Which by getting good at it, I of course mean getting good at writing melodies in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at the point now where I can just, when I'm building a chord, I can just pick out notes and then they'll know what it sounds like ahead of time before even playing it. So
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to show, or?
I think I'll show two more.
All right. Cool.
All right.
All right. Sounds good.
Go with two more. That is not. I did not click on that. Because my arm is leaning on the enter key. That explains that. We just solved the mystery.
We have a mystery that we just apparently solved.
I do want to conclude this on a finished song. Issue is, I don't really have any recent finished songs that I can play. I mean, I do have one that I'm finished, but I can't play it because it's
What? Why can't you play it? Why?
it's not.
Why? Oh man, you're
It's technically finished, but it's not good.
Can we hear it though?
No.
Oh man, you're tempting me. I want to hear it.
I know. I really shouldn't have mentioned
Why'd
anything.
you do
That's terrible.
I'm gonna now like tempt you for the rest of the time.
You know what? I just remembered I have another one that I can play, so I'll play that one.
Okay.
But
I thought you were going to decide that. You know what? I'll play it. I thought you were doing some kind of bit where you were like, "I'm not going to play it, but I'll play it."
Yeah, no. Before I do that, actually, no, not that one. Where's the Apocalypse one I just played? So this one, I think this is the oldest that you're gonna see on here. I think it was started just before the very first one. So I haven't actually showed. You know what? I want to show one of my really old projects. I just want to hear what it sounds like. You can see the date modifieds on these.
Wow. December 24, 2016.
Yeah.
God, I remember.
Pretty old.
I do remember that Christmas Eve.
Well, let's see. See if I know what this is. That is a 4-bar loop. But yeah, that's what my old sound design. I didn't even click. Look, it did it again. I didn't even click.
I'm not even looking. They can't even see what you're doing.
Yeah, maybe you should point that towards me because
I just did that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, you should give me a medal for that.
I know. Shame you're not getting one though.
Yeah, I know, it is a shame.
So I should probably look for like a one that's high. It's got a high.
I love the speaker. The speaker is just so cool.
Yeah, you can tap the mesh on the top to change the color.
Okay.
And you tapped it. You like held it down, so you hold it down again to change it to the colors.
Oh, that's cool. It's blue. Make it blue.
Yeah, keep them entertained while I load this up.
Make it green. Even though it doesn't look green for the camera. Purple.
This track. When was this track started? Oh, never mind. It's another 4-bar loop. It started on December 7th, 2016. So, yeah, almost 5 years ago. But obviously that one hasn't gone anywhere. So, okay, so back to the original thing. 2 more tracks I wanted to show you guys. One of them is finished, but before we get to the finished one, let's go to the halfway finished one. I think it's in this. Yeah, so real reason I can't play that track is because the audio file is corrupted and I don't have the samples in it. So if I play the project file itself, it's just going to sound incomplete. So yeah, when I'm put on the spot like that, it's hard for me to word things. Can I? Okay, so yeah, that's me hitting the enter key. All right.
Cleaning glasses on the spot. Good. Smart.
Huh?
No, I'm like cleaning glasses on the spot. Good. Smart.
I'm afraid I don't get it.
Yeah, there's nothing to get, honestly.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This is an example of a song that I actually did have a narrative for.
It sounds a little bit like carnival music.
Oh, it wasn't. It was.
Well,
It's kind of
actually
close
more
to
like
that, actually.
Well, more like dance music. You
It
know,
was
like
more-
Kind of,
I had more of like an
Pretty
idea
lights.
of like a traveling convoy or something playing
Yeah.
this as their theme song or something like that. But yeah, I want to finish that one. That one
Okay.
is. I have a special attachment to that one.
All right, so now we're hearing the finished one, right?
Yep. And
Alright.
I don't know if or when this will be released. It is finished, but I kind of want to save it for like a project that I may or may not be working on. I don't want to get into any details because it's like I don't want to end up promising anything. But this was a experiment that I did using two unfinished projects. I combined them together into one track. There are a few things that I want to change with this, but it is mostly complete.
Okay.
And this is like a complete iteration, so to speak. So without further ado, here you go. I'll turn this up a little.
I love how we're listening to it. It's like we're like both confused. Even though you wrote it, it's like, where's it going? Where's it going?
I mean, I know where it's going. I'm more like eyeing the speaker because I'm like, I don't trust it quite yet. I haven't had it long enough. It cut out during that little thing, so yeah. Hear that choir again. Want them to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold it there. That little build-up thing, I wanna place that.
So, what would you describe this song like?
That's a good question. The main reason I'm very fond of this song is because I can't really describe it. I mean, I would say it's a very. If I had to assign it a certain genre, it'd obviously be some sort of trap, but that's about all I can give it. What this project or what this song is I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I took two different songs, one of which was like a future-based trap song that was very poppy, and another was like this classical dubstep song. And I just exported the two as like WAV files and then combined them into one and messed around with the audio of each and ended up with that. So,
hey.
yeah, and it works surprisingly well. I did not expect it to work that well, but yeah. So that's essentially the story behind that track, and I might end up releasing it in the future. I don't know what it'll be a part of, if it even ends up being a part of anything, but yeah, no promises though.
No promises. But all right, yeah. Now, would you say that now before we end, would you say that there's anything that describes your music in general?
I mean, if there's one thing that I can describe my music as, it's me constantly struggling with music, because each track I write, even though there are times where I'm feeling like particularly elated with writing certain projects, especially when I'm just starting out and I got this really cool idea. Typically, it's especially when I'm finishing songs, it's usually a big issue, because I end up having this like identity crisis over what I want a specific track to be, and it can just be very confusing and very frustrating at certain times. But yeah, I mean, that's it's all part of the process, and I don't think it's anything that I specific. That's what are the words I'm looking for? I don't think it's anything that it's only me I'm going through. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to find the words.
Don't worry.
It's
All right. Cool. All right.
very weird.
No. It's all right. And so okay. Two more things. Like what would you say that like so for this interview, like what do you want people to know about you and about your music?
You mean like where to find me and stuff?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, yeah. I guess where to find your music, but also too like what to know about like why you make this music, what you want fans to know about it.
Oh, that's a good question. Because I mean, I feel like I'm still in the phase where I'm just trying to figure myself out and figure out like what kind of impact I want my music to have. So I guess that is what I would want people to know, if anything. And also, if you are looking for my music, my alias is Ode0DE. You can find me on SoundCloud with that name, or on Instagram it's 0xOde, because Ode is technically a hexadecimal number, and 220, and the hexadecimal numbers, or if you convert it, it's 222. So that explains why my logo looks like that if you go to my SoundCloud. But
Okay.
yeah, currently all I have on my main SoundCloud page is 2 remixes. One of them was published in April of 2020, and the latest one was published in February of 2021. So they're both 10 months apart. And currently I'm working on a bunch of singles, but I've been thinking on and off about maybe packaging them into an EP or an album. But right now it's all up in the air. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, no. So I think that is where we're gonna leave off on the interview. Thank you for being on. I really appreciate it. Glad to have Trevor Strickland on. All right, welcome. Well, I'm glad that you're on. Well, I mean, welcome.
The one and
Why
only
did I say
Trevor
welcome? I said
Strickland.
welcome again. I said welcome again. But you know what? Welcome to the video. I'm glad you came in, even at this moment. If you watched at the end, that's fine. If you watched it at the hold on. If you watched it at the end of the video, it's fine. Welcome. We are leaving, but you can watch it, whenever, because this stream will be on, on this channel, okay? No matter what. Even though we're live now, you can see us whenever it's recorded. Okay. I'm gonna end before I start really going out with a bang. And all right. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next live. Bye. Okay, and we're still
Awkward
not ending.
pause.
Awkward pause.